aura. Oh, New Zealand, you beautiful bastards. Welcome back to The Grey Cricketer, brought to you by ACO, India's leading digital insurance company. Is that the sweet redemption that we've all craved from 2019? Has all been forgiven? Dharma Seema back in the good books. He didn't really have anything to do, but still I feel like he's part of it. My name's Ian Higgins. Sam Perry sits across from me. Pezzy lad, New Zealand are at least the second best team in this tournament, and we know, as a fact, this isn't sarcastic, they're almost definitely the best team of a generation.
England crash out. It's the skeleton hiders century.
That's right, baby.
It's very simple.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where to sit as an Aussie on this because there's two ways to go. Well, there's many ways to go with it.
Yeah,
but is it the Schadenfreude that England have crashed out? Because they just missed a couple of Yorkers, so their whole white ball program now needs a root and branch investigation.
Sucks.
Yeah, you just missed a couple of Yorkers.
That team sucks.
Yeah, terrible.
Yep.
Completely overrated.
Yuck.
Double hat Morgan. What's that? Barney Ronais is a bit of Yogi Low about it. You know, Germany just getting long in the tooth. England.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Or New Zealand, finally a little bit of redemption for them.
Yep.
This is what they deserve. We're all on their side. Do we disrespect them still? Of course.
Absolutely.
That's a birthright.
Of course.
All right? Is there any logic to it? No. But if you want to avoid satire or not interpret it in the way that we mean, then you can do that.
They stood next to us in war, just slightly behind. Like the Aussies were at the front line. They were sort of the front of things. And like New Zealand were there, like just slightly back and to the left.
And some might say...
Also, that's the right, but...
Aussies just fuck off out of the conversation. You're not part of it in any way. Stop trying to muscle in on the skeleton century. We'll decide when you're involved and the manner in which you are involved.
Just give us your pavlova, okay? Give us your delicious fruit-based desserts.
Look.
And Russell Crowe.
Look, we're not even into the three things yet, but I rolled over this morning. I didn't watch it. There you go. I'm admitting it. I'm burnt out. But we've since watched it. I rolled over this morning and I saw the score.
Yeah.
And I laughed.
You have to laugh. You have to laugh.
I felt endorphins. I got, what's the chemical you get when you take pingers?
Endorphins?
I don't get them. I've just read about it.
Serotonin?
Serotonin. And I felt like laughing. I felt good. So the good guys won.
I went out with a girl once called Serotonin.
Would you like it in grade terms?
Give it to me in grade terms, baby.
Talk about the game. This is New Zealand.
Yeah.
So, boys just got to cash in after 16 overs.
Fucking oath, yeah. Let's just get
to 16.
Get to 36 in the game.
Yeah. Cash in
Those
with 24 balls to go.
Yeah,
doesn't really roll off the tongue like tea.
No.
But at England sit down and have their Yorkshire tea now. Now, look, first one, he goes.
Yeah.
The first innings was even. Did England leave runs in the bank? Maybe. It didn't seem like a classic England innings. I mean, they only lost 4 wickets. Let's go from the top.
Yeah.
So they brought in Bairstow for Jason Roy. So they got him to open.
Yeah.
Instead of Roy, brought Bilbo in. So James Vince didn't get a game or whatever. Bilbo didn't even get a bat.
He did as much in the game as he has when he's not been playing.
Yeah, that was the Bilbo role.
Yeah.
Anyway, New Zealand dob him in. Abu Dhabi. So already they take the major advantage into the game.
Yes.
How do you make sense of 166 for 4? It's not very England, is it?
Well, I think 166 is actually a good score because I'm wary to praise a team that's just crashed out of the tournament when my team is still in it. You know, Australia has outwished, outlasted, and outplayed and survived England.
At the very least, we can now conclude that Australia's white ball program is actually at least equal to England's because of where
and probably
they're going to finish.
A little bit better because we're still in the tournament.
And they're in the bigger final because it's on a better TV
That's right.
schedule.
Yep. But I think 166 is a pretty good score because you look at Butler, for instance, 29 off 24.
Yeah.
He didn't stick around like he did against Sri Lanka when he got his ton, but he accelerated through the innings. And that was probably what he was going for, but he obviously gets out of 29. And then Moeen comes in 51 off 37. Milan cover drove everything, 41 off 30 seeds. It's like just...
they're taking it at the start of the day.
It's moving, but it's not. And then Livingston comes in 17 off 10, I want to say. Then it's like Livingston probably if he gets more balls and he he does well, he probably gets that score to 175, 180.
But this is what England.
But
look, they haven't really done the 50 over blueprint of just going balls out all tournament. I think has been a little bit of
you can't though in this corner.
In the UAE. And this is what's interesting about it. Like, do England look back on this innings and go, there were runs in the tank. We left runs in the tank. We arrive at the ground
with a full tank.
With a tank.
Yeah.
And we want to get rid of this tank of petrol.
Yep. It's got to go.
Yeah, and
it's got to go.
When I do the whole drive, but we've actually left some petrol in there for later.
Then they go home. They've actually still got some petrol in there.
Yeah,
it's still not. It's not an empty tank
in the tank.
Yeah.
So
can you look at the bowling figures? Like only this is the full-on analysis of what you get with matchups and statistics. And,
yeah.
Trent Boult goes for 40.
Yeah, he went around,
and the rest is just a bit like. There's just normal these figures, so like
almost as though
but no one gets in more than one wicket. Like it's
almost as though New Zealand just bowled quite well, and let's just say fielded well.
They're a good fielding team.
Yeah,
I'll give them that.
Yeah, are we just going to say like, well, you win the toss, yeah, it's at least worth 30 runs.
It's but that remains true. You can't like. Yeah, it's just that's the fact. You win the toss and it's a huge advantage.
So you're saying that England did everything they could do. It did as
just
good
about,
as well they could
and
do.
166 is a good score, but 4 down suggests that there's some there wasn't quite some tank emptying.
Well, let's just say honours even after the first innings, and then we get in. The second thing I've got here goes is I'm going to title this as everybody else is Big Boy Power.
So our friends
Simon Dewar mentioned this. New Zealand lose 2 early wickets. Guptill, gone. Williamson, gone.
2 for 12, I think.
2 for 12, 13. Yeah. So England looking pretty good. You can hear the Barmy Army in the background. A lot of England guys, English people over there.
Yeah.
No, not saying that. And then bit of grunt work from Mitchell and Conway just to keep things ticking over.
Isn't this Conway guy a great player?
Oh yeah.
Hasn't he had a great year?
Yeah.
He played in the England series, got his Test debut, did really well there, wins the World Test Championship final against that team that didn't make the finals in the World Cup. And then he's playing a really important role here. What did he get? 46 off 38. That's grunt work in a T20.
Yeah.
But they get him into a position. But I've got to say, England are winning the game by an absolute mile with 4 overs to go. Not by a mile. They're winning the game pretty easily.
This is when the game changes. So what's that? 4 overs to go. It's 36 overs of the game.
Yeah.
Everyone's thinking England's doing pretty well. Here, England, especially for a team that was dobbed in, are doing very well. 54 is needed off 4 overs. And New Zealand...
57, I think.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, whatever it was, New Zealand did it in 3 overs.
Yeah. So what went wrong there? Yeah.
Normal game. And, like, this is what... I guess, I don't know if we're going to... No, I won't get into the third thing just yet. I mean, we were just saying this before off air. Like, you can say it's over in 3, but between Neesham and Daryl Mitchell, if you can... Because no other team seem to be able to do this. If you can take down Chris Jordan, Adil Rashid, and Chris Wokes... and have 6 balls in your own tank, then fair play to you. That's good play.
Mate, what about Nation coming in from ball 1?
Yeah.
What did he finish with? 27 off 10? 11. Some clean hitting. Got a little bit lucky. There was
about time.
You know the Bairstow catch, that was a great bit of fielding. Like the catch and then throws it to Livingston. That had shades of Trent Boult at Lords.
Oh, yeah.
Same part of the field.
Yeah.
Steps on the rope. Takes the catch, steps on the rope. I mean, Bairstow's catch was more athletic and but
brilliant.
Nation coming in, friend of the show, and just changing the game in the space of a couple of balls. Yeah, taking down Chris Jordan, who just misses his Yorkers and his lengths by centimetres, and see you later. That's
you've got, you've got to be good enough to cash in on that, and then a guy misses one Yorker, you cash in, and the next one's harder to hit.
Then he bowls a wide.
Yeah,
now you're in his head.
Exactly. That's all good bowling, and not a lot of good batting. There's not a lot of people who can do that to Chris Jordan. So fair play to them. And then mate, big boy power, Daryl Mitchell.
Mate, well, he was clubbing balls.
Yeah,
he's not a stroke maker. He's a clubber.
We be clubbing.
Yeah, Rob Dugan clubbed to death. There's one for the kids.
Exactly. Seal clubbing.
Seal, kiss from a rose. Rose.
Rihanna Rose. Ricky Pontings.
Mate, what about the absolute scenes when Daryl Mitchell hits the final 4 of Wokes? The scenes in the dugout, mate, that is energy.
Yeah.
Mate, if that's a club game, energy, you're singing the song on the pitch and then you're straight into a circuit.
Yep.
Straight in there.
Clubbing.
The first 4 beers don't even touch the sides. Drink responsibly.
Indeed. Yeah, they just smashed their way there. I don't know what else to say. It was
What a great
batting.
performance.
Yeah,
Again, New
brilliant.
Zealand. New Zealand are so hard to beat in all tournaments and red ball. All cricket matches, really.
Let's go into the third one. Is this New Zealand's time? I pick up you saying that like they're always so hard to beat, and we look back, it's like ODI World Cup final tied runners up.
Well, 2015 as well.
That's right. World Test champions, and now they're into the final of the T20 World Cup. We're still sort of going like, gosh, it's really hard. They've just become a David Moyes team that's really hard to beat. You know, they just set up well.
Yeah.
It's like,
what is it? They're well drilled.
You know, we talk about
team.
Daryl Mitchell. Who's this bloke? You know, well, like, it looks like he's just dominating England's best players.
Yeah.
Glenn Phillips, just watching him, was like, geez, athletic, isn't he, in the field?
Yeah.
Like, we don't like
He's
these
a good little player.
These
isn't
guys
he?
aren't lighting up the BBL or whatever. Like, if I feel like if a BBL franchise announced Daryl Mitchell, you'd be like, huh?
Yeah.
What's this?
Okay.
What's it? Like,
All right.
and that's our problem, as always.
Well.
it's not actually.
Yeah,
I just get the
yeah.
second head out. Oh, Big Brother stuff.
Mate, can I talk about New Zealand in terms of rigs? They've got some absolute rigs. I tell you what, it is a very good-looking team. Guptill, rig. Santner, shoulders for absolute days, maybe even a week and a half. It's that
man.
long.
It's got a bicep on it too.
Sodhi, unit. Kane Williamson, beard vectors. They've got a lot of things covered. Who else plays for them?
Southey.
Southey,
Of
Rooster.
course, Rooster.
Trent Bolt.
Is the arch Rooster.
That might have been that myself.
Yep.
Uh,
Like Glenn Phillips is fast twitch.
yep. And then Mitchell, unit. Rig.
Rick. Jimmy Neesham going
Oh,
on.
salad.
Niche.
They've got it all.
Yeah.
It's a bit second grade.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm coming to that. Is this New Zealand's time? I mean, I feel like, you know, if you take the patterns of all sport, that they've been, you know, ever the bridesmaids, never the bride.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes it'd be good to be a bridesmaid, I feel, but anyway,
Yeah,
I'll never have that opportunity.
A lot of admin, though. A lot of admin.
And they've
You gotta
done a lot of that.
speech,
Yeah.
You got to make sure things are running smoothly.
Sometimes being the bride, it would be quite stressful.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, it depends on your family.
That
but
has been my experience.
yeah. So anyway, you'd imagine, you know, they'd be gritting their teeth now, New Zealand, saying, you know, this is shooters tournament. You know? This is, you know,
Yeah.
it's just my time now.
Yeah.
But seriously, they, you know, there's got to be a destiny to it. It's just the problem is that T20 cricket is really unforgiving.
True.
You know?
True. Mate, let me put this to you.
Please.
I know we're just celebrating the last 2 years that New Zealand have had. Has any international team had as much sustained success in the last 20 years? Since Australia's great team. South Africa had a great team for a bit. England have won some stuff. But this is, across all three formats, a generational team that have made it into every final consistently. They consistently win series. They don't get the home and away series that they deserve, but they win almost everything. Has a team in the last 20 years been as good as this New Zealand team? I'm thinking out loud, and I think probably not. This is actually probably a generational team.
It requires you, or it relies on the premise that the measure of teams is how they perform in the ICC tournaments. And a lot of people would probably rightly say, well, that's when you bring your best cricket. That's when all the best players coalesce. So there's no better measure than that. But I think in the way that, you know, the heart has reasons that reasons don't know, a lot of people are like, didn't do it in Australia. Didn't do it in India. And they would, to that, they would say, don't get much of a go of doing it.
Yeah.
But still didn't happen.
3-0 Australia.
All right. On to hashtag AskTGC. Thanks to Acco. A special one here. He goes, I've got 4 AskTGCs for you, and I'm going to give them to you in one burl. Okay?
Give me a
Jed
burl.
McDonald writes in, Kia ora. Big boy power. Harry Boys writes in, are New Zealand good yet? I'm asking as a Kiwi. I can't feel it until I'm validated by the West Island. Lake writes in, wait, are New Zealand actually good? Akshay Benuel writes in, Daryl Mitchell for Ballon d'Or. Anthony Harris writes in, what grade do you reckon Daryl Mitchell would play?
So Daryl Mitchell did actually play grade cricket in Perth. Mostly 2-3 stuff.
Harris Ralph played too.
He played for Scarborough.
Right.
He played for Scarborough.
Well, that's and also Langers Club, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And he played in Blackpool in the UK as well because I think he was actually born in the UK or he spent a bit of time there anyway. But he's also his dad, John Mitchell, the All Blacks rugby coach. He's now the defensive coach for the English rugby team.
Okay.
He was there apparently. So his dad was there. He's seen him.
And Steve Bruce was there.
That's right. Yeah. Steve Bruce was there. Can he take over England? Avoid relegation.
So
Darren Mitchell, he actually did play grade cricket.
What grade do you reckon he'd play?
Now?
Yeah.
He'd probably captain twos.
Yeah.
Because twos Scarborough need a senior head. They've got a lot of young guys coming through. And
good point.
Yeah.
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 As long as he doesn't go to Gosnells or Golem or so. A New Zealand good yet, and New Zealand actually good. Look, I hope that it's clear that the focus on New Zealand on this show demonstrates our love and respect for New Zealand, and also that...
And Russell Crowe.
And Credit House and stuff.
Yeah.
But also Jacinda Ardern and their position on America and their green credentials. But that, like, T20 can be so unforgiving on an England team as well. But we still, I think, should reserve some mirth for England, who, for their entire year, have built the summer around, firstly, winning these Ashes out here, which won't happen, and secondly, unifying the belts of white ball cricket.
Yeah.
They've just lost 2 games in a row and crashed out. Long in the tooth. Old Morgan, 2 hats. See you later.
Mm-hmm.
What's England cricket about?
Well, you can't. It's like 2 games ago talk about what would this World Cup actually mean for the Ashes? Can they bring this momentum into the Ashes?
That's right.
And then
Joss Butler, best white ball player we've ever seen. That was 120 hours ago.
I can't wait for Australia to lose by 9 wickets to Pakistan tonight. Unless we win the toss, and then it might be close. All right. We'll be back tomorrow, obviously, for the morning after World Cup. The 2 boys, the 1 World Cup. For Pakistan and Australia. Who knows what the fuck is going to happen. But hey, New Zealand are there. One team's going to make it. And then one other team will have to make it as well as runners up to New Zealand, who we bound down to. Congratulations. Kia ora. See you guys later. Cheers.